a musical intervention. I'm a musical intervention success. And the reason why I say this is because I have to know my why. And my why is pretty deep, but you could say I was raised by two schizophrenics, and I had a very challenging upbringing. And music, this is me as a child with a little harmonica in my mouth. And this is something that, there's a line that goes all the way through my childhood, which was music being a cornerstone in helping me understand myself, my surroundings, and eventually to develop a business because I was helping other people. So I got my degree in recreation therapy. I started working at Yale Child Psychiatric Inpatient Hospital, writing and recording songs for the children on the unit. And it was very powerful. The medical director said, wow, you should be doing this with other agencies. And so I began to contract with various agencies and even get some small grants to go on the green and start writing songs with people, making music wherever I went. And so believing in others' creativity, that is their essence. Their creativity is their essence. Providing them with the tools and assistance to connect them with themselves and their community. Finding somebody who's down and out, giving them an opportunity to express themselves is one way to boost their mood and their belief in themselves. And then providing a space where they can showcase their talents. And with the help of the Arts Council of Greater New Haven, we were able to start this process. This is at the Lyric Hall in Westville. So providing people with the opportunity to showcase their talents and amplify their voices to a larger audience. Not only helping them in that moment, but then projecting that image to a broader audience, fully, and more importantly, giving them that chance to have people see them differently and build on that real identity that's inside. Not, I'm homeless, I have a mental illness, any of those things. I'm an artist, I'm a creative power. This event was really special because the audience was filled in tears with some of the stories and the songs that were coming out of them. So I knew I was onto something at this point. I got another grant through the Arts Council to do songwriting and open mics at the Soup Kitchen. And this was really powerful. Understanding the needs of people by spending time in their environments, like gathering to sing together at soup kitchens. This is really when I got a deeper understanding of the homeless community in New Haven, spending so much time with them, not only in this place, but on the New Haven Green, where they were spending so much time hanging out, because there's no real opportunities for them. And so we're just writing these songs and creating these things. And again, that led to an amazing showcase where we fed 35 people and entertained them during the holiday seasons. It was very, very powerful. And this is a key change right here because I realized that there's so many people with nowhere to go and they just needed a space where they can be creative, where they can be warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And with the help of Eleanor Slumber right here, which is a true hero in New Haven, she was working with Project Storefront, and I got the opportunity to open up musical intervention studios, which had been a lifetime dream. So moving from leading by one to empowering many. Now I have 2,300 square foot in New Haven, doors wide open to the entire community of people that come in with one rule: no drugs or alcohol allowed in the space. We would prefer people to be sober when they come in. And I didn't see it coming. I had no idea that once the doors were open, the people that would flood the space. I knew the people that I was recently working with on the green, they were a part of it, and they were taking on responsibilities. They were checking people in at the door, they were running our kind of makeshift coffee shop where we're giving away free coffee for people and stuff like this. So now they have agency, they have roles in our community. And I'm like, how do I manage all of this stuff? It's just like, there's just so much amazing stuff. And now again, I was fairly single at that point, and I think I was living with my parents. There we go. Now, conscious culture, right? This is a desire to inspire and be inspired by those around you to see the good in people and to use the space to accomplish this. Because that's our core mission, is to value each individual coming through. I think you said it just a moment before, you can't judge people just by mistakes they've made in the past. I could have went a million different ways. I mean, really, honestly, I could have totally destroyed my entire life. And I fight every day to not do that, and I do. And music helps me, and when I found out it helped other people, I said, well, let me see what I can do with it. And so there's just so many stories in each individual here. I mean, you're talking about serious challenges, getting through in a capitalist country, right? Keeping up. How do you keep up? Where are the creatives? What does capitalism do to the creatives who can't go to college, who can't keep a 9-to-5 job, right? Well, I think that there's reason to believe that maybe there's an industry of people like me who are creative, who can use their talents and creativity to inspire others to also do the same thing, maybe even creating an industry. This is one example of a success story. This is Moises. He is a peer support specialist. He's amazing. He also works at Continuum of Care. And he came in one day. He says, I play percussion. I would love to get involved in what you're doing. I said, you must be a spy. And then it turns out he ends up bringing all of these drums. We have this back studio where it's called The Cave. And he sets up all of these drums. And so Moises starts putting in his time, doing drum circles during the day, just before our open mic. And people start coming. And then through my relationship with Yale, we were able to find a researcher, a neuroscience researcher, AZA lab, to study Moises' drum circle and how it impacts people with anxiety. And that pays really well. So all of a sudden he's starting to see, oh, I can like play drums, do what I love, and make some money enough to survive, right? And see where this leads. So it's working. I also have another music facilitator who has autism. He's just a brilliant. It's not even fair how brilliant he is. He can remember every song he's ever written with all the people that work here. And so I've been able to hire him as we're functioning very low, a very small budget, but we hire him as a contractor for the past 5 years. So he's been making a living wage and doing this. The reason why I've been able to sustain this for so long, I burnt out in 2018 and just hit like a low hum and was just trying to hold on to the pieces. I also met my wife and we moved into a house and now we have a couple children. How is I going to make this whole thing work with such a little amount of money? So Demas gives us $68,000 a year to be able to run the space, covers rent and some of Kevin's expenses. But this was a huge meeting Phil Corlett through my relationships with Perch Program for Recovery and Community Health, a great program at Yale, and Bob Cole, who is the CFO of CMHC, relationships that they've been bringing me into run groups there for a while. Introduced me to Phil Corlett, and this guy's like a rock star in the neuroscience world. He's very funny and very intelligent, and he specializes in working with people who have delusions, so auditory hallucinations, visual hallucinations, schizophrenia. This is full circle, obviously, for me because I have two parents who have that. And so it's very special to see how a program that I developed now is being studied with NIH money to see how it impacts people with auditory hallucinations and their distress levels. Also pays me, and I can raise a family on it. Relationships that I make along the way. This is Jeremiah Brown. This is somebody I worked with when I was working at the child psychiatric. Hard time in his life, but he took a guitar and started writing songs with people like that. I was just mesmerized. And so we've been working with each other since he graduated high school. He reached out to me. And we've been able to travel the world together to tell the story of musical intervention, to spread the model in which we've created. And this was us as the keynote speakers at the European Conference of Mental Health in Lisbon, Portugal. It was a very special time. He's a great person. If you ever meet anybody in New Haven, meet Jeremiah. So got a spoiler alert there. As my life goes on, I get little opportunities here, and this is a really great opportunity. I was just recently on a show called Claim to Fame on ABC, and celebrating the win-wins in life. And the win-wins that I always look for is how can I help myself, help others, right? And everybody wins. And I actually won this contest, which was crazy because it kind of went against what you were saying. I was kind of helping everybody along the way, and everything you were saying, everything would point to, there's no way he's going to win. There's no possible way. But
the cards were stacked against you for sure.
If you watch it, it was crazy. The whole house wanted me out of there. They couldn't stand my energy or whatever. But it was a really great opportunity to share my platform, and all of the articles that came out in People's Magazine, all that stuff, they were able to allow me to highlight musical intervention. And that's something that I really believe is really important for me right now. Is I just started a nonprofit organization called Musical Intervention Studios that would be able to provide all of these free services that I've been paying for all of these years to get more support from more people. And that's the goal, I think, is learning more about conscious capitalism and being an alumni of the business, learning how to hand over control. And it's something that I learned here at Southern a long time ago. I knew I was a thick head though. I started the Ultimate Frisbee team here in '03. And it never existed before, and within about 2 years it began to kind of take on a life of its own in a culture I didn't really want to be part of, and I was focusing on other things. And so I left it alone, but because there was a board, and because there was a chain of command, it continues to this day in Southern. So the Ultimate Frisbee team is still here. It was a great example of how to create something, allow people to be part of that, and then let it take on a life of its own. So that's hopefully what I hope to achieve in the next 5 years, which is allowing this nonprofit organization to take on a life of its own, create more of these musical intervention studios, providing free services to people, training people on how to do what it is that I've been able to accomplish, and then maybe, if I'm lucky, finding a business, somebody with an MBA to be able to take this over. As I get to do what I love, which is writing songs with people. If you are at all interested in any more information, there's a QR. You can take your phones out and it'll bring you to a link tree. But you can search musical intervention on the internet. And at the very least, if you've got some courage, it is the most diverse gathering you'll ever see in your entire life. Every Thursday night at 23 Temple Street, we have a drum circle from 5 to 6, and then an open mic from 6 to 9, 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock in the afternoon. And you'll see Yaleys mixing it up with the homeless, mixing it up with retirees, and everybody getting along. And you want to talk about a culture. We've been downtown now for 9 years, and it self-governs itself. It really does. It's been such a beautiful experience to be part of. And there's a lot to learn about it, and I look forward to the advancements and any partnerships that anybody would suggest, and I would welcome that. So thank you so much for your time. I'm going to go to therapy now, and I just encourage all of you to do what you're passionate about, continue doing it, and if it adds up to helping people around you, you're living the good life. Thank you.